Hello everyone, welcome to another Versus video. I am BBD, joined by
CVM.
And I'm going to be battling with Bug Walkers. Yes, it is.
Everybody asked for it in the comments, and here we have it.
Yes, Garrick Apex Predator, Jace the Living Guild Pact merged together at last. So this is a Jeff Hoogland brew that he played, and I just took his list card for card, didn't make any changes to it. So we're going to give it the old college spin and see how it does. But basically the core of the deck is planeswalkers.
There's a lot.
There are numerous planeswalkers in this deck. We have 3 Kioras and a Jace as 4-mana planeswalkers. We have 3 Nissas, a Liliana, and 2 Veraskas as 5-mana walkers. And then a big old Papa Garrick coming in at 7.
He has 4 abilities.
He does have 4 abilities.
It's a lot.
He is a little bit more expensive than the rest of these guys, guys and gals. But Garrick will get the job done, hopefully. So to complement our Planeswalker suite, we have Sylvan Carrington, Courser, and Scavenging Ooze. Early roadblocks. Going to gain some life, going to ramp us. Basically, just try to hold the fort down for these, bigger, harder hitters to get into the fray. And hopefully we're not dead by the time that they come down. And then we have Bioblight, Ultimate Price, Hero's Downfall and Abrupt Decay, Golgari Charm, and some solid removal spells. These are all pretty good. I like Bioblight more than most. Not a huge Ultimate Price fan, but I would definitely play more copies of Bioblight probably. Singleton Negate. It's usually fine to have one-ofs like this in a deck like this. You're going to see a lot of cards, so sometimes that you can just blow people out with a negate. It's rarely terrible. So
yeah, game 1 getting some of the negate is a pretty good feeling.
Yep. And then 3 Read the Bones, which I honestly don't like Read the Bones in this deck, but I can understand the appeal with Courser and stuff, but our deck is so top heavy, and we're probably going to want to be playing a Planeswalker every turn from turn 4 or 5 on, that I don't really see time where we're going to be reading the bones. So
I definitely feel like the deck as a whole is pretty proactive. Yeah. And something along the lines of Thoughtseize would probably be a little more proactive in a shot like this than Read the Bones. Yeah,
I would much prefer Thoughtseize. Even I honestly don't like Thoughtseize that much in this style deck either. I would rather just have
more removal,
another Decay, another Bioblight, and a 3rd Ooze or something like that. Yeah, just more removal, more early game cards to really get the game going. But despite that, we do have Read the Bones, so we'll see how that works out for us. Hopefully we don't get boned by it, but we'll see. And mana base is pretty self-explanatory. We have...
It is gorgeous.
We have a Forest, an Urborg, 2 Llanowar Waste, 2 Yavimaya Coasts, a bunch of Shocks, and some Temples.
And a Mana Confluence.
So I honestly don't know about this mana base. It could be brilliant or it could be bad. Well, I guess we will wait and find out, because either these numbers are perfect or they're not. So I honestly don't know, but I will say that I like that he only plays 1 Mana Confluence. I think it's tempting in decks like this to want to play a lot, but the cost is super real. So definitely with this kind of strategy, I would definitely lean towards less Confluences and more other lands. So I do like that Jeff only has 1 Confluence. And I think I honestly would probably want more green sources. Even the 1 basic forest I know looks weird, but I would honestly want more than 1, just because of the ability to cast these cards early in the game without having to deal damage yourself is pretty important. But overall, I think the mana base looks fine. So let's go ahead and delve into the sideboard and see what goodies await us there. All right, we're here with the sideboard. To start us off, we have a nice little row of removal. Putrefy, Golgari Charm, and 3 Freakus Cures. As long as Cure is castable with the mana base, I really like it a lot, because we deal a lot of damage to ourselves with our lands, and our opponents also deal a lot of damage to us as well, because they're meanies. But Freakus Cure is hoping to put an end to that nonsense. So
this deck definitely seems like it can have an issue with the Rakdos Cackler decks. So
yes,
I think Freakus Cure is a very good call.
Yeah, definitely, definitely there. And we have also some counter spells here for the control matchup, along with a Notion Thief, to get them when they Revelation.
I mean, it happened last weekend.
It is a blowout.
And Open was won by Notion Thief in the sideboard. So.
Yep. Very true.
You never know anymore.
And Dispel is also very good against burn decks like that. Good. So is Negate. I like that all the counters are cheap, which helps when you want to be able to like play a Planeswalker and hold up and counter Magic. So it is nice having cheap counters. I do like that a lot. And then Aetherling for control decks. Another Liliana Vest for when 11 Planeswalkers isn't enough.
Need one more.
Yep. And then a Doomblade to also kill creatures, and 2 Drown in Sorrows as well for the red decks, which are certainly a huge issue for this deck. So I can understand the need for Drown in Sorrow. But the sideboard's actually pretty self-explanatory for the most part. It's just a bunch of fairly inexpensive cards that are good in various matchups. And it's important to keep the cost of the cards low because the deck's curve is already super high. So you want cheap answers for the matchups they're good in, so that you can then kill their stuff the first 3 or 4 turns of the game, and then play your Planeswalker and go from there.
Yeah, with how 2 of the big 3 strategies in the format being like Thoughtseize based black decks, and controlled Revelation based control decks, like having your main deck tailored towards just throwing Planeswalkers at them every turn until they just can't answer them anymore is a great strategy in your main deck. But a lot of times you're going to be paired against these decks that are much leaner. They're trying to go under you, just like they're trying to go under the Revelation and the Thoughtseize decks. So we have to be able to lower our curve quite a bit and get rid of all these billion mana cost Planeswalkers for some good old Sorin's Thirst here.
Yeah, Liliana Vest, Garruk Apex Predator, maybe getting shoved to the side for Pharika's Cure.
Yeah.
So. So that is all for the Bug Walkers deck. I'm going to be battling against CVM, who's playing...
I'm playing Red White Devotion. We're not going to do a deck tech for it since we have already beat that dead horse plenty. But I am actually playing the list from Jerry Thompson's Daily Digest article that goes up every day on the Select side on the website. Make sure you check that out. But last week he found a gem that was a red-based Devotion deck splashing white that recently won a Grand Prix trial. And we have a seldom used Mythic from Ravnica Block that's going to be gone soon, but we're going to give it a shot here.
Legion's Initiative, if you want a spoiler. And if you don't, I gave it to you. If you want another spoiler, I'm going to negate it.
I really hope not. See what happens.
Anyway, stay tuned and let's see the battling begin.